In a realm beyond the living, a group of spiritual souls, floating through death's mystery, free to silent by dice rolls. When you knocked down your beating heart, and now your souls can't depart. Death season is nigh, cries a smoking gun in the dark.
Talroth.
Zelbarat Wilderton.
Just as we were doing experiments, I'd like to basically just get a little bit of the ichor, get it separated from the rest of the mass, and put it in a bottle to later test to see if we can use it to help locate the bigger creature.
Roll me a wisdom save with advantage.
22.
22. You are able to
Nice.
expertly grab on to the hunk of ichor. It tries to go onto your hand and, like venom, try to...
No.
And yes, and it like holds itself onto your bony skeletal finger, and you're able to just into the bottle, and it all just, and you're able to cork it, and you have successfully captured my Pokemon.
Yeah.
And
You want a little to yourself, huh? I understand. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I'll hand it back to
Mine
you.
is bigger though.
Hand it back to you and just say, I think it might be useful at a later time if you'd be willing to hold on to it still.
Absolutely. I will grab it.
and you store it away in your bag of holding. You know that you could use this potentially as a compass to hunt down the monster at a later time.
Okay.
I still think that, well, regardless of any of your flaws or shortcomings, your mind is very gifted. I just think you should know that.
Further testing is needed.
We will see.
Javi's gonna look at Talroth, and I'm assuming they had been like discussing and talking through this whole thing. He's gonna be like, "Do we need a live subject?" Chai, where's that little octopus you have?
Why are you asking?
Puddle.
Oh, never mind. I just kidding. I wanted to know if it has an affinity to the animals like I believe it does.
Considering what we have seen in the prior memory, I would think so. But perhaps there's a sparkhopper around.
How far do we want to get into this?
Well, I would enjoy perusing my memory for a while, trying to determine, what I should be doing. So I think you'd have a decent amount of time to continue your experiments.
I do worry about giving it what it needs to become stronger, though.
I think we're in a position where you could handle it.
If we keep an eye on it and end it should anything complex happen, we've already set seeds in several memories. I think the damage is done. At least this way we gain more information.
What is our next step? Where are we going? Do we need to go back to Chai's memory? Do we need to follow the monster? What do we need?
I suggest we focus on the task at hand. You continue your experiments. I will figure out what we're here for, and then we will figure out our next move. In the meantime, Chai, I have a favor to ask of you.
All right.
Last time we were in our memory, things felt a little off. When the Sparkhopper attacked Delry, it seemed to be abnormal movements for a Sparkhopper, and various other things felt a little bit off. If you could keep an eye out to see if things seem out of place, whereas my memory, I don't know if it's my memory of it or perhaps wishful thinking, but I think it's either being altered or something was afoot. I don't know. I just think another set of eyes focused on that might be helpful.
You got it. I'm on it. I will do it. I will be so perceptive. You got it.
Wonderful.
And Zale, I think you should lead the way. We're in your memory. I think you will naturally be able to take us where it's best. We will follow you.
Perhaps I should make an insight check to see if I know what is about to happen in the memory or something where I should be and focus.
Go ahead and make me, like you said, an insight check.
Technically, there's a 1 in it, but a 10.
A 10. You watch over Zelbarath as he is still confidently telling Ilaria,
Ilaria, I'm a skilled fighter, and we've got strategies up our sleeve, such as what we've been experimenting with the firehopper glands. And even with the limited weaponry we've been able to equip you with, you've shown to be excellent at expelling whatever threat comes upon us. The Pinkertons would surely not afford to dispatch a large force. I doubt they would ever do something directly. This is just hopes that we will fold under this underhanded burning of our camp while we're gone.
You can't be serious, Zel. I know you're strong, but this isn't about strength. This is about survival, and I don't want to lose you or our son over pride. And it's not just your pride at play. The Pinkerton family has a lot of pride at stake here. We are actively going against them with, and she holds up her sharpened trowel, limited resources. The price of what they're wanting from us is high, but it isn't going to be that much of a detriment to us, Zell. And I can't do this forever. I can't run like this forever. I'm happy to be an adventuring family, but I don't know how much longer our family unit can withstand a force like the Pinkertons.
Ilari, I appreciate your input, and I do think this is something we should continue to discuss, but if you'd allow me a little bit more time to see how big of a threat this is really going to be. If I can, I'd like to avoid showing Delry that we need to fold to such bullying and underhanded tactics. Give me a little bit of time to investigate this further.
Okay, I'll trust you. Make me a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
12.
The heartbreak of this memory is too much. You try to push all of your feelings aside as you are reliving this memory. You recall this memory so fondly. It feels like it happened just yesterday. And you want so badly for things to just be better. You don't want your adventuring party to see the weakness that you are showing in this moment. And your mind starts to slip into wanting to skip past this memory. And as you fail this wisdom save, the fabric of time starts to whiz around you, and the rest of your party members all hurtle forward years into the future in a dizzying blur. In an instant, you and the rest of your party find yourselves standing amidst a landscape transformed by another passage of time. You are immediately struck by the desolation of this future. The once lively campsite that you were in, even though it was ransacked, is a mere shadow of its former self now. The air hangs heavy with neglect. The scent of decay mingles with a faint memory of happier times. Your heart sinks as present you took in a sight of the camp in tatters, still from this raid. The tents and fire pit overgrown with weeds, broken pieces of glass litter the ground, remnants of bottles smashed in anger or despair. It was clear that no one had tended to this campsite, but amidst the wreckage, one thing stood out to you: the neatly made cot of your son Delry, in stark contrast to the chaos surrounding it. A small island of order in a sea of disorder. Tears well up in your eyes as you look over the memory of yourself, with eyes bloodshot and sunken in, as the memory of yourself runs a trembling hand over the soft fabric of this blanket. Delry, your voice barely audible above the rustling wind through the trees. You can't help but wonder what had become of Ilaria. Of all those you had left, either letting them down or left behind in a wake of destruction. You wonder, had Ilaria moved on without you? Or is it just you that can't move on?
This is all... I'm not sure if this is right or not. Is this my memory? Is this a future?
Is it something you don't remember?
Perhaps we may need to remove the ichor, as I am in my memory. I think perhaps it would be best if when we're in someone else's, so it does not affect our entire. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Javi will kneel down. He's still, I think, got most of his suit off. He's just his tiny little self kneel down with the bag of holding, and Finn will come back and jump in the bag with it. He'll seal it.
Thank you. I'm sure we'll get this all figured out. You guys may sense like a little bit of a false impression from what he's trying to put up, but I think perhaps going back to Chai's memory may be best. And come back another time after I've been able to recuperate.
Zale, it seems like we've arrived in a spot that is significant to you. It seems like this time matters a lot. I know that it's painful. This seems like possibly the most difficult memory of yours we've visited yet. But I do wonder what happens if we stick around a little longer. So much has happened in the short amount of time that we even just entered your memory. I can't help but feel like there's still something you need to be taken from this besides just some emotional pain.
That is fair.
I'm going to keep up my promise, and I'm going to observe the area just with my own... Doesn't have to be a perception check.
Oh, you
but
can.
With my own perception,
Absolutely.
do I feel like anything is off?
Roll me a perception check.
21.
21. Awesome. And what are you trying to perceive?
So I'm trying to see if there are any things in this memory that seem off. Obviously, this isn't my memory, but just if anything's little wibbly wobbly, timey wimey or whatever.
Yes. You're looking at Memory Zell and noticing his face overcome with stubble, his campsite barren of any trace of Delry or Ilaria.
And that doesn't seem to be necessarily off, but that's just something I perceive.
That's just something you perceive. There is nothing off about this memory that you are able to tell.
Zale, I'm not noticing anything that seems weird. Like I know that we've recognized in some of the other memories. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the context of what's going on here. We seem to have skipped forward in time. This almost seems like maybe it wasn't even that long ago from right now. What can you tell us about what was going on here?
Well, I appreciate you keeping an eye out, that is. It helps me move forward with more certainty. Unfortunately, I don't remember much of this precise moment. It almost seems contradictory to how I thought things had been. My life had been. Let me do like a investigation, perhaps, to try to see how far after this had been.
No investigation needed. As you are looking around and you are able to dig through and fight through the trauma block that is there. This was the same year, so still during Delry's 14th year. However, you, as you were taking in the scene, recall that this was the time that the Pinkertons made good on their promise, their threat of capturing Delry. And Ilaria had left because you were so overcome with the guilt and the grief of putting your son in a dangerous position.
This memory is the unfortunate circumstance where the Pinkertons were quite dedicated at squashing any semblance of resistance to their control over the area. So they sent an outside force, probably worth much more than the fees they were trying to collect from us. Captured my son Delry. I guess Zell, me, in the memory, is still trying to grapple with this and decide how to move forward. Ilaria has, well, I think she decided to find her own way forward as well. I don't know exactly what I need to find from this, but...
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh. 16.
You hear through the trees crunching footsteps of a small militia. Hugh Pinkerton peers through the woods with his arms raised and says,
Zell, I come in peace.
the memory of Zell approaches the tree line. I've thought of your offer and I'm ready to accept. Hugh Pinkerton will outstretch his hand from being raised to you and say,
Do we have a deal?
and you watch as Zell takes Hugh Pinkerton's hand and shakes it, and in your hand appears a scroll of astral projection. Hugh Pinkerton teleports away.
Well, I guess this is a devastating moment, but I cannot help but be somewhat excited as I remember vaguely, it's all become a little jumbled, almost as if I gave some god several timelines of possibility. And we're getting a little bit of all of them. I won't lie, I had kind of thought I had imagined this part or was wishfully placing it within my jumbled memories, but this is possibly a sign that I am truly still alive and coming, seeking my son Delry. And perhaps I wish I could remember the precise deal I had made. Can I
You
think
can.
back?
However, I will need another wisdom save for you to do it.
11.
With an 11, you hear in the back of your brain,
You aren't dead, Zell. You aren't dead,
Might as well go home. What makes you think
You're
you're
only
only putting those who traveling with you that you could protect danger when you couldn't even protect? How does it feel to be such a failure of a father?
It's back. It's back.
you remember as the voice comes back, the ringing tone of the raspy Hugh Pinkerton saying,
Give your regards to Lady Pinkerton. She'll take you through the astral plane and help you find your son.
Oh, dear. I'm remembering so much now, but the voice is distracting me. I believe I may have what I need from this memory. I could be wrong, but I believe I just need to sort out how to move forward now.
So you're really not dead?
What was that paper?
I don't know if you were here when I had discussed this previously, but I had been looking into astral projection shortly before the whole mishap. Just a bit of a recreational reading, honestly. I'd always thought it'd be cool to be a wizard. So after things went south, I started thinking, well, perhaps I can use this to fix things. It's a scroll of astral projection to allow me to enter the astral plane and perhaps retrieve something of great value.
Oh. You're alive?
That is what I believe. I'd
I'm
honestly
the last one to
doubt.
understand it.
you take 10 points of psychic damage as the ichor subsides again from your brain. Everyone make me a snap judgment or perception check.
Do we have all of that ichor in the bag? Zell's like scratching his head, trying to get it out.
Nat 1.
Ooh.
24.
Oh, 9. Yes.
He's
yes.
put away.
All right, I could be wrong. It may just be taking a larger grasp on me. I'm actually beginning to take its physical toll. But maybe the monster's here. And that is why it is still having such a large effect. But I'm not, being upfront, I'm not in a state where I think you can trust all of my judgments.
This has been a lot on you. I'm hoping this is what we needed to glean from this memory.
Yes.
I'm starting to get a little bit worried that it's going to become progressively more unstable, so...
And
Yes.
Speaking of instability, Chai, you were looking out for things that were going wrong in this memory,
Uh-huh.
and a small light peers through a crack in the memory, and a doorway opens. A portal from the astral plane. Talroth, roll me a d6. Followed by Zell, roll me a d6.
1.
Wow. Low numbers.
Yeah, imagine that.
How about a 6?
2 extremes, so it's either gonna be really good,
Watch
really bad,
this
or
part of
mixture
Knock
both.
Prone where Danny decimates me.
Gladiator combat.
I can't even show my face anymore.
With a 1 and with a 6, I have a nifty little D36 table, I guess, instead of D20, because it's a 6x6 table.
cool.
The of a group of astral reapers peer through the portal, and you, Chai, and Javi notice Reaper Dave, the Reaper who took you initially through the astral sea at the lead of them, and he seems to have somewhat of a new vigor. He was on his first day on the job. It seems like he's been promoted rather quickly. He hup with the rest of these 4 Reapers, and the Reapers look at Talroth, and Reaper Dave says, "Talroth, it's so good to see you. Oh my goodness. Captain Pinkerton disappeared from the manor. We don't know where he went. And we've been trying to look for you everywhere. And we remembered that you were connected to Zell, and so we came here to ask for your help. Can you help us in finding Captain Pinkerton?"
Do I believe him? Does
Roll
he
me
seem
an
to be
insight
telling the
check.
truth?
With advantage, because I love that.
I'll say it again. I am not smart enough for this game.
I'm with
I
Mason.
will
I don't think he's
all
telling the truth.
season
I think it's a ruse.
be the last to suspect any of this stuff. Because you guys have to do it, and then I'm like,
listeners are going to be like, duh.
advantage.
Well,
Yeah.
we're all like, what?
Insight, so 17.
With a 17, Reaper Dave has nothing to gain from lying to you in this situation. It seems his voice is steady, and he seems to be telling the truth. Because of Reaper protocol, if this wasn't the truth, it is a very interesting way of trying to lull you into this false security, because they usually are very swift for action for these type of things, because timelines are at stake from you potentially being a quote-unquote bad guy.
Okay.
So you seem to believe Reaper Dave as he comes through the portal.
I will investigate the situation, although I do not promise that I can be of help.
Okay. Thank goodness they put me in charge. It's my second day on the job. Do you know?
Yeah, Reaper Dave, it's so nice to see you, my friend.
Yes.
I'm just curious, did you open this portal?
Yeah. Why?
Oh, I was just, I guess, curious how we happened to run into each other.
Oh, I had to. Talroth could have told you this. I had to destroy one of my will-o-wisps from my lantern to get here. So that's kind of like what we do with the will-o-wisps. We use them to navigate.
I see. I'm gonna like sidebar
Yeah.
everybody, you know. Should we be going through this portal? Should we go back to the astral plane? Do we need to stay here? I'm not sure what we're supposed to do.
I think that your last question is the most important. Do we stay here? If the answer is no, I don't think it matters where we quite go.
out of curiosity, Javi's going to pull the little vial out of his bag and see what the ichor's direction
Yes.
is pointing.
Whoa.
Ooh, smart moves.
Take this point of inspiration. Yes. Roll me an investigation or arcana check with advantage. That compass idea is going to be clutch. I'm so
13.
excited about that. 13. With a 13, that will be mixed results. As you're watching the ichor in this compass-like beaker, it is not hitting towards the portal to the astral plane. Rather, it is hitting towards the direction that you remember the portal door of Javi's memory is still in the same spot that you guys found it prior.
As Javi's doing that, he'll just relay. The ichor wants to go this way, not with Dave. Where do you guys want to go?
So going.
I don't know who to believe.
I believe Dave. He is far too naive to be this much of a convincing liar. As for
you. You're absolutely stupid.
if the ichor is not in the astral plane back in the Soul Meadow, I would say that is the safest place for us to go. However, if we are looking to solve this ichor problem, I think we would need to go elsewhere. Between you all and myself, I have no intention of helping Reaper Dave achieve his goals. So, the choice is up to us.
Zelbrath at this moment seems to be in a little bit of a daze. He doesn't seem to be focused on the question at hand or any of that. He's just kind of zoned.
Understandably
Yeah.
so.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you were just mentally attacked by this ichor.
Yeah, just something to keep in mind as you guys are discussing. I'll just be...
I've felt so guided so far, but this seems like the first time we just need to make a decision for ourselves.
Do we have to solve the monster? Do we have to capture it to kill it?
Have you had any developments in the creature that killed
Lady Pinkerton.
Lady Pinkerton, but also killed my friend, who is the person I would be more concerned about?
Oh no, we didn't find anything.
What about Lady Pinkerton? The
Lady
creature
Pinkerton's
that
dead.
killed her.
Right.
Have you-
We have not gotten any leads again. Without Captain Pinkerton, without you on the case again. They put me in charge. Now put yourself in the mindset of somebody who's willing to put somebody who's on their second day of the job in charge. We're not doing well. The investigation's kind of been on hold. We've just been trying to find you. So nothing's been progressed so far, unfortunately.
I think it would do well to have a base of operation. If we return, we can at least check out the situation further. Perhaps the Pinkerton's manor would have more information on the creature.
It doesn't seem like it would be harmful to go back to Soul Meadow, because at this point, it doesn't seem like anybody's viewing us as a threat. That was half the concern. So
That's why we ran.
yeah, I mean, it does seem like a place of safety right now, and a place maybe to gather information.
I am low. While I am physically fine, I am low on my divine capabilities. So some rest would do me well. But I also understand that we have quite a lot to get to. So I think we go back to Soul Meadow, try to gather some more information from the Pinkerton Manor, and then return to your memory, If we decide to solve this ichor beast problem, then we have a way of guiding us in your back.
Lead the way. I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
Dave, we shall return.
Yeah,
Um,
good. Oh, do you want to be put in charge? Because this weight is on my shoulders. I can take it.
I will be an advisory. I'm
Wonderful.
more than happy to help you
Great.
solve this issue, but I do not know how long I will be able to remain in the Soul Meadow. As such, I need someone who is able to be there.
Yeah, I can do my best. We will try together. All right, team.
Knock prone.
Not prone.
Do the thing.
Walk up to Zell, and
As I see, movement towards me.
Oh,
Yes. So, are we fighting?
Not yet, friend.
Okay.
You can let your guard down. We're just gonna go have a nice, relaxing rest of our day.
Are you ready to leave?
Oh, yes. I believe that it is the right time.
Very well. Let us depart, and I'll make my way through the portal.
You all make your way through this astral portal into the main astral area of Soul Meadow, and that is where we're going to end our episode for the night. My name is Cade, the host and Grin Reaper of this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure, and I am joined here by the players to my left.
Brooklyn playing Chai.
Alec playing Javi.
Mason playing Talroth.
And Danny playing Zelbarath Wilderton.
Thank you so much for listening. If you like this podcast, go on over to patreon.com/knocked and consider subscribing. For as little as $2 a month, you can get tons of bonus content. I want to say thank you to our patrons. I'm going to butcher this name, and I'm so sorry. Thank you to Obina I. Thank you to Whitney Hurst, Jay Collin, Nathan Morrill, Joshua Jenny, Arison Pistachioke, Mark Ramsey, Katie Siddell, Lester M., Carson D., Todd Love, Marissa K., Baron Battlebred, Mason S., Katya Y., Poe, Ograd, Dakota.
That's a long list, man. I did not know that's where our
Well,
patrons are.
thank you all for supporting us on Patreon. We
Listen.
truly love you guys.
You guys helped me buy Thomas the Tank Turtle's kibble. It is so neat. He is so hungry all the time, and I just cannot express. This show could not happen without you. All right, sorry, but back to whatever's on the other side of this fourth wall.
And of course, Kelric Bigfur, who wants to remind you to listen to the Talked Prone podcast on Patreon. So thank you so much, and we hope that you remember when life knocks you flat on your back, all you got to do is keep rolling, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your afterlife. Goodbye.